பல்லாவரம் ஃபோக்கஸ் மென்ஸ்வேர் இப்போது மேடவாக்கத்திலும் ஓப்பனிங் ஆஃபர் டி-ஷர்ட் வெறும் 19, ஷர்ட்ஸ் 79 மற்றும் அனைத்து ஆடைகளும் 799க்குள் கிடைக்கும்.
நிறைய ஃபேன்ஸ் அடிக்கடி சார் என்ன சார் இதை நீங்கள் கம்பேக் பண்ணுறீங்களா, எனக்கு கம்பேக் ஆகணும் சார், தென் திருப்பி இல்லை உடம்பு சரியில்லை சார், உங்களுக்கு என்ன மென்டல் ஹாஸ்பிட்டலில் போயிருக்கீங்க, இல்லை நீங்கள் செத்து போயிட்டீங்க.
Hello Abbas, welcome to Galatta Plus. Your PR gave me a missed call.
Okay.
And so I see a missed call and say, okay, so obviously he's going to ask me for some interview. And அதை பார்த்தோன்னா I'm like thinking, okay, who could it be? And the மாதிரிலாம் you'll think, yeah. The last person I expected was Abbas. This is like, wow, Abbas, what the hell? அவரா comeback பண்றாரா? What is this? Like, how Abbas? What is happening here?
Thank you for Baradwaj for having me on your show. See, நான் லைஃப்பில் ரொம்ப கம்மியாக இன்டர்வியூ கொடுத்துருக்கோம். I've been a very close-knit and personal person. ஆனால் பயங்கர ஜாலி. I move around with friends and all that stuff, but I've kept myself close because I'm very unpredictable in many ways and I like to keep that about me, that element. I said because I've given some interviews to some thing அங்கே இருக்கும்போது வெளிநாட்டில் இருக்கும்போது, but it's been distorted. So நான் சொன்னேன் சரி நான் இங்கே நாட்டுக்கு வந்திருக்கேன்னா let me just clear, let them get it from the horse's mouth. ஏன்னா நிறைய ஃபேன்ஸ் அடிக்கடி சார் என்ன சார் இதை நீங்கள் கம்பேக் பண்ணுறீங்களா, எனக்கு கம்பேக் ஆகணும் சார், தென் திருப்பி இல்லை உடம்பு சரியில்லை சார், உங்களுக்கு என்ன மென்டல் ஹாஸ்பிட்டலில் போயிருக்கீங்க, இல்லை நீங்கள் செத்து போயிடுச்சுன்னா அப்புறம் நான் எப்படி ரிப்ளை பண்ணுறோம். ஸோ there's many things here and there. I said I want to do it with people who I believe in. So I've watched some of your stuff and I said, yes, can you please think. And I spoke to some friends and what I had in mind, a friend, the two people who they gave me was you were one of them, another person was totally different from the normal cinema stuff. It is related in some way in that sense, but different. So I said, okay, I've hit the nail, the hammer on the nail. So I said, try panla. I said, let's ask and see. I know everyone's busy and I've been out of the circuit for a long time,
right?
Because I was spending time with my kids. ஏன்னா இங்கே இருக்கும்போது I missed their growing up.
Right.
நம்ம பிஸி இருக்கும்போது ஷெட்யூலில் எப்போ என்னுடைய பையன் பொண்ணு வயசுக்கு வந்துச்சுன்னா I didn't even know. ஸோ I said இப்போ ஒரு வெளிநாடு போகிறோம் காலேஜ்க்கு, எனக்கு இன்னும் ஒரு 4-5 வருஷம் கிடைக்கும் அவர் கூட இருக்குதுனால I said சரி நம்ம கூட போகலாம். That was the idea. So we can have a little bit more family bonding. ஸோ அதனால நாங்களாம் வெளியே போகணும்.
That is New Zealand.
That is New Zealand. Yeah. So that's why I'm here. I said let me clear the air and you can ask me whatever you want. அப்போ நம்ம பேசிக்கலாம்.
At one point Abbas is this mega star, right, in Tamil cinema. உங்க முதல் படமே காதல் தேசம். You're not really looking to be an actor, but then it becomes like this blockbuster. அடுத்த நாள் you're what is that word, heartthrob. Everybody likes to use that word, right? Do you remember those days? What was it like?
ஆமாம், எனக்கு ஞாபகம் இருக்கும். நான் நில்கிரிஸ் நெஸ்ட்டில் இருக்கும்போது ஒரு நைட் ப்ரீமியர் பார்த்துட்டு அடுத்த நாள் வந்தோம். I was a normal person. Next day நான் எழுந்திரிச்சோன்னே I opened the window. கீழே பயங்கர கூட்டம். நான் ஏதாவது
அவங்களுக்கு தெரியும் நீங்கள் அங்கே இருக்கீங்கன்ட்டு.
I think so.
Okay.
பட் நான் என்னோட பெர்செப்ஷன்னா ஏதோ ஒரு ஆக்சிடென்ட் ஆகிடுச்சு. சரி ஓகே நம்ம ரெடியாகி கார் வந்திருக்கோம், நம்ம போகலாம். we had to go and meet some people. ஸோ நான் கீழே இறங்கும்போது ரிசப்ஷன் சார் கீழே வராதிங்க. எதுக்குண்ணா? இல்லை ஒரு கூட்டம் இருக்குது. க்ரௌடு பரவாயில்லைப்பா, க்ரௌடு இருக்குன்னா நான் I'll go. And I said, இல்லை சார் இந்த க்ரௌட் இஸ் for you. I said, for me, what did I do? இல்லை சார் உங்கள் படம் ஹிட் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா ஹிட்டு. I didn't understand the slang எல்லாம் எனக்கு தெரியலன்னா what do you mean hit? இல்லை சக்ஸஸ் சூப்பர் ஹிட்னால I said, okay. So I couldn't overnight எப்படி from a normal person to suddenly all this. So I couldn't. I said, I'm not stopping myself. நான் அப்படியே போகிறேன். I'll go through the crowd. So I did feel that, but I tried taking it on and being normal.
Tell me that particular incident. நீங்க கீழே வரீங்க, crowd இருக்கு. What happens?
They're pulling you. They want to get a piece of you. Appas. So I'm like, I'm just smiling. I don't know. Sometimes I'm getting irritated also. Why are you touching me? I could not understand. And the emotion, what the kind of emotion they had or how they were connecting with the film. Because எனக்கு என்னன்னா சரி ஒரு படம் பண்ணுறோம், 19 வயசு, and the maturity also was not there. And I said, okay, this one extracurricular activity மாதிரி ஒரு சினிமா பண்ணியிருக்கோம் as a pocket money or something like that. இப்படி ஒரு யூட்டர்ன் ஆகுனா கவனிக்கல நான். So I was just going through normal emotions, I was like little bit apprehensive, and the close proximity, passum kaatranga, but I could not
You also
understand.
say you're a very private person. So
Private person and a person, I am very protective about the people in my family.
okay.
On the side,
Anna Mari, okay.
Private,
But you're okay meeting
I'm
fans.
a very, I with fans, I'm New Zealand also, I meet fans.
Right.
COVID 2 years later, I was doing Zoom chats with my fans. I was very away from social media, but then I got onto it because I wanted to help a lot of fans, a lot of suicidal people who were going through things. So I was helping them out.
Right.
So, I used to be a teenage troubled kid, and I wanted to end my life because I failed in 10th standard. A girlfriend close, she left me. So all that, our 10th standard oh, my life is gone. So that time I wanted to kill myself and all. But there was something which made me change.
What was that?
A motorcycle. So now, troubled I said, highway I was waiting, a truck vandana, adukku mele kudichi, matter close. But the truck pinadi or the two-wheeler vanditrukom. நிறைய இடத்துல there was different things coming. So தனியாக ஒரு ட்ரக் வந்தப்போ ரெடி ஆகிட்டேன் நான். அந்த கொஞ்சம் ஃபுல் கரேஜ் எல்லாம் கொண்டு வந்து சரி இப்போ குதிக்கலாம். பின்னாடி ஒரு 2-wheeler சார் அவர் பாவம் என்ன தப்பு பண்ணியிருக்காரு. ஏன்னா ட்ரக்கு ஒன்றும் எஃபெக்ட் ஆகுது. ஏன்னா பெரிய ஆப்ஜெக்ட், சின்ன ஆப்ஜெக்டுக்கு தே வில் கோ ஓவர் மீ அண்ட் தே வில் ஹேவ் அவருக்கு அடிப்பட்டோம். ஸோ என்னோட டார்க்கஸ்ட் டீப்பஸ்ட் வேர்ஸ்ட் மூமெண்ட்டில் ஐ வாஸ் திங்கிங் அபவுட் நாட் மீ பட் சம்படி எல்ஸ். That clicked. And that made sense to me. In our life, if you want to grow, you help somebody else without expectation. That's your soul food. So I started my journey unknowingly, not very effectively, impactfully, but as a self-conscious, I was aware of it. So I used to do my small little bit, which would keep me on track.
So, you're good at like understanding people's problems,
Empathy
and advising them.
No, I don't advise.
Right, as an understanding that. Yeah. See, I think பேசுறதே ஒரு நல்ல விஷயம் தான். பிகாஸ் நிறைய பேர் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சிச்சுவேஷனுக்கு வருது பிகாஸ் அவங்களுக்கு பேசுறதுக்கு யாருமே இல்லை. That is one big thing that is they're not able to talk about their particular situation to somebody else. So the fact that you're doing that, you don't do this for money, right?
No.
Right? It's more like
it's more like life lessons. I've gone bankrupt 4 times. I've had various vishayangal, how I bounced it. So I put those life lessons in Zoom chat la I'll put out. I said, what do you want to talk about? I have this in mind. So some fans will say, sir, idu pesikla adu pesikla. So mostly I'll put something on those kind of life lessons at the put it. I'll speak.
Right.
I'll say, நான் சின்ன வயசுல எனக்கு அம்மா ரொம்ப அடிப்பாங்க, எனக்கு இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இல்லை படிக்கிறதுக்கு. ஸோ ஐ டு வாண்ட் டு. ஸோ ஐ செட் அதில் தப்பு இல்லை. இஃப் யூ நாட் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் டசன்ட் மீன் அவருக்கு ஒரு முட்டாள். மேபி அவருக்கு வேறு டேலண்ட் இருக்கும். ஸோ யூ ஹேவ் டு நர்ச்சர் தட் டேலண்ட். ஸோ ஐ வுட் கிவ் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ் என் மேலே பேஸ் வச்சுட்டு அண்ட் வாட் ஐ ஹவ் கான் த்ரூ, கீப்பிங் தேட் அஸ் பேஸ் ஐ வுட் explain. Then somebody will ask me, கேள்வி கேட்பாங்க, சார் எனக்கு அம்மா இப்படி பண்ணுறாங்க, நான் அம்மா பார்த்துட்ருக்கேன், பட் ஆனால் அண்ணா எனக்கு தூக்கி போகிறாங்க வெளியிருந்து, நான் என்ன பண்ணுறேன், ஐ வாண்ட் டு கில் எண்ட் மை லைஃப். ஐ சார் இது உனக்கு டெஸ்ட் தான், நீ இந்த டெஸ்ட்டில் பாஸ் ஆகும் ஃபெயில் ஆகும்னா நீ லைஃப் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். பட் நீ கொஞ்சம் பேஷன்ஸ் வச்சுட்டு அடுத்த நாள் வெயிட் பண்ணனா நெக்ஸ்ட் டே மார்னிங்கோட சன்ரைஸில் என்ன புது ஹோப் வரும்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. பட் நீ சான்ஸ் கொடுக்கல. ஸோ வெயிட் பண்ணி பார்த்துக்கலாம். ஸோ ஐ ட்ரை டு சிம்பிளிஃபை இட் to give them a small little hope.
Right.
So that is what I did.
Ivangala, how did they find you?
I put one post in Facebook and I had one actor Abbas page. I used பண்றதுல சும்மா ஒரு hi hello 14,000 or 10,000 people were following me. And I used to not interact. நான் ஏதோ ஒரு ஃபோட்டோ நியூசிலாண்டில் உட்காந்து லாக்டவுனுக்கு முன்னாடி I put one just first lockdownல என்னோட கொலீக் சொன்னா காதல் தேசமுடைய ஒரு சாங் ஒரு ஃபோட்டோ I put and he said this fellow looks like you. நான் போட்டேன் and என்னோட பக்கத்தில் நான் ஒர்க் பண்ணுறது ப்ரெசென்ட் மூமெண்ட்டில் ஹெட்செட்டில் போட்டு ஐ செட் திஸ் மை கொலீக் செட் திஸ் ஃபெலோ ரிசெம்பிள்ஸ் யூ அண்ட் ஹா அப்படி எதை போட்டேன். ஸோ தட் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் வெண்ட் வைரல் ஆன் மை பேஜ் அண்ட் சடன்லி பீப்புள் ஸ்டார்ட் டேக்கிங் நோட்டீஸ் அண்ட் தென் ஃப்ரம் த இன்ட்ராக்ஷன் ஸ்டார்டட்.
ஓகே.
தென் எனக்கு தோணுது சரி ஓகே பண்ணலாம்.
ரைட்.
லெட்ஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் டூயிங் திஸ் பிகாஸ் தேர் லாட் ஆஃப் பீப்புள். நிறைய பேர் எனக்கு அடிக்கடி சார் ஹார்பிக் பாத்ரூம் க்ளீன் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? சார் ஆமாப்பா ஹைஜீன் ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஸோ ஐ யூஸ் டு கன்வெர்ட் த நெகட்டிவிட்டி ஆல்சோ into positive.
Right.
So I had the people who were negative trolling me they became positive because I didn't get affected. I never picked up the ball.
Right.
Simple as that. So I had a lot of people then taking notice of being positive, and I said, see, ஆம்பளைனா நாங்களா சில விஷயங்களை பேச மாட்டோம், உள்ளே தான் வச்சுட்டு அது சஃபர் ஆகும். I want to bring that out.
Right.
Because we are suffering and we are dying. There's nobody speaking for us. Ladiesக்கு
especially Indian males.
ஆமா. society pressure-னால, family pressure-னால நீ ஆம்பளை, நீ ஸ்ட்ராங்கா இருக்கணும். But அந்த ஸ்ட்ராங்னால
they will say things like பொம்பளை மாதிரி அழாத or something like that.
சொல்லுவாங்க. So I said, இல்ல, I don't mind being the torch bearer for that. நாங்க கஷ்டத்துல போயிருக்கோம். I have, நம்ம டேபிள்ல யாரும் வந்து சோறு போட மாட்டோம், நம்ம தான் போடணும். அதுக்கு கடவுள் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுவாரு, பட் யாரும் வந்து போட மாட்டோம், நம்ம தான் போடணும். So why should we get scared of anybody?
Right.
So I said, let me put என்னோட எல்லா ஃபியர்ஸ் அங்கே டேபிள்ல வச்சானா nobody will have the ammunition to fire against me.
Fantastic.
நம்ம ஹோல்ட் பண்ணி வச்சனா they'll keep taking and firing. So I said, yeah, this is me.
Right. But tell me, but seriously, like you're this big ass star, right? It's like நீங்க காதல் தேசம் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க, மின்னலே, கண்டு கொண்டேன், ஆனந்தம் with Mammootty. There's so many memorable hit films, பம்மல் கே சம்பந்தம் with Kamal Haasan. And then suddenly one day you find yourself holding a Harpic bottle. There's obviously nothing wrong with that technically, right? Because the modeling is a valid profession. But நீங்க வந்து அந்த ஒரு because in India வந்து there is a hierarchy. That is film star na in the level, model na in the level, அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு இது இருக்குல்ல. So when you find yourself, நான் ஒரு நாள் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு film star இருக்கேன், இவங்களோடலாம் ஆக்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன், one day I'm like holding a bottle of Harpic, what was going through your mind?
See, நான் சினிமா வந்தப்போ ரெண்டாவது 2-3 படம் ஃப்ளாப் ஆயிடுச்சு, didn't work well. இப்போ 8 மாசம் எனக்கு ஒர்க் இல்லை, வீட்டுக்கு ரெண்ட் வாடகை கட்டணும், சமையலுக்கு சாப்பாடுக்கு இப்போ எல்லாம் சேலரிஸ் எல்லாம் கொடுக்கணும், என்னுடைய டிரைவர்ஸ்க்கு, ஸ்டாஃப்க்கு, சிகரெட்டுக்கு காசு இல்லை, என்ன பண்ணுது? அப்போது ஈகோ தான், நீ வெளியே போகக்கூடாது, யாரும் வந்து someone will come and sign you, அந்த மாதிரி வரும். Enough is enough. I went to RB Chaudhary sir, கல்லிப்பள்ளி தானு சார் கிட்ட, RB Chaudhary சார் கிட்ட போய், சார் எனக்கு வேலை வேணும், 8 மாதம் வேலை இல்லை, காசு இல்லை, எனக்கு காட்ஃபாதர் இல்லைங்க, I need help. சரி, ஓகே, நான் சொல்கிறேன். ஸோ he then got me படையப்பா, இல்லை பூவேலி, சாரி பூவேலி வித் கார்த்திக் சார் அண்ட் கௌசல்யா. ஸோ பூவேலியில் I walked into that set and எனக்கு என்னோட மைண்ட் செட்டில் எல்லாருமே பார்க்குறாங்க, நம்ம லைட்மேன்னு, மேக்கப் ஆர்டிஸ்ட், ஜூனியர் எல்லாம் பார்க்குறாங்க. ஐம் லைக், ஓ தேர் வாட்சிங். இந்த ஆள் நேற்று ஹீரோயின் தான் இப்போ பாரு என்ன பண்ணுறாரு. லைக் இட் வாஸ் லைக் ஒன் ஒரு ஷூட்டிங் ஸ்குவாட் மாதிரி காரிடோர் என்னோட மேக்கப் ரூம் வரைக்கும் போயிட்டுருக்கோம். தட் வாஸ் த worst எவர் வாக் ஐவ் டன் மை லைஃப் வித் மை செல்ஃப். உள்ளே போயிட்டுக்கப்புறம் அப்பா. ஸோ ஐ வாஸ் கோயிங் த்ரூ தட். பட் தென் திருப்பி அந்த பூவேலி டிட் வெல். Then I did Padeppa. After that I came back to a position where I did Anandam and then Pambal Kesan, and then I was doing hero roles.
Yeah.
But I never stopped accepting or saying, I never stopped saying no to guest appearance. I said no. That taught me a lesson. Life up and down upon. It will not be up. If it goes up, it has to come down. So keele varambod you have to stand tall. It's like elections le. Two people are contest பண்றோம். ஒருத்தர் ஜெயிப்பாங்க, ஒருத்தர் he will lose, but at least he's lost bravery, he's had courage and he's lost properly. So அதுக்கு accept பண்ணல, I've lost but I'll come back. So that is what is going on in my mind. I said I should not be a fixed mindset, I should have a growth mindset. I have to overcome my ego for me to grow.
Right.
So I kept playing with my ego every day. Sometimes the ego would win, sometimes no.
Right.
Sometimes I feel இன்னொரு ஆர்டிஸ்ட் 10 பேரை கூட்டு போறாங்க ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்கு, I also can call some friend. I said வேண்டாம், கோ தனியாக போ, உனக்கு தேவையில்லை 10 பேர் கூட்ட ஒரு ஃபோன் வைக்கிறதுக்கு, ஒரு ஹோல்ட் பண்ணுறது, சார் ஃபோன் வந்திருக்கு, ஒரு காடி, go. So I kept fighting with myself every day to be a better version of myself, and I'm happy where I am. I mean, I've gone and been a motorcycle mechanic. I used to give money, எங்கே காசு கொடுத்து சர்வீஸ் பண்ணலாமா, பட் என்ன சர்வீஸில் எனக்கு தெரியல. I went there, said சரி, I don't want to study. அந்த ஸ்டடிக்கு காசு கொடுக்கணும், 3 years வேஸ்ட் பண்ணும். ஹேண்ட்ஸ் ஆன்ல எனக்கு அப்ரெண்டிஸ் ஆகிலாம் ட்ரெயின் மீ. ஐ லேர்ன் ஹவு டு டூ கிளச் பிளேஸ், சர்வீஸ் த மோட்டர் சைக்கிள், வீலோட பேலன்சிங்கு, பஞ்சர் எல்லாத்தையும் நான் கற்றுட்டோம். ஐ டிட் so many things which I could not do here. In New Zealand. I could be a normal person.
You also had to find a job, survive.
Yeah. So I went mentally prepared, and I'll go and drive a taxi also there because I have to put food for the table for my kids
அது
and
ஏன்
family.
நியூசிலாந்து சூஸ் பண்ணீங்க?
It reminded me of my childhood. நான் வளர்ந்தது பெங்களூரில். ஸோ அந்த climate and then the suburbs எல்லாம் there was no tall rise multi-story building எல்லாம் கிடையாது. ஸோ அந்த climate and the housing எல்லாத்தையும் எனக்கு என்னோட சின்ன வயசு ஸ்கூல் பீரியட் that is my best period. ஸோ அந்த ஞாபகம் வந்தது. I said okay. ஸோ அதனால நான் போனேன். And there was like nobody pressure இல்லை, society pressure இல்லை. And my kids and wife also liked that place. I said போலாம்.
But that's கொஞ்சம் உங்க மைண்ட்ல ஒரு ப்ளே ஆச்சா? இது கொஞ்சம் இட்ஸ் a kind of a tricky move because நம்மளுக்கு வந்து we'll have to go and திருப்பி லைஃப் ஃப்ரம் ஸ்க்ராட்ச் ஆரம்பிக்கணும்ல.
That is also there. Plus at that point of time I was not enjoying my work. So அப்புறம் I'm my biggest critic. More than anybody, I'll only say like one film I remember which I was doing in Hindi and I called people to watch it. And my friends, I said, "Vanada, paak vana, bakwas film." I already paid rent for the premiere.
Or something, right?
I said, "Don't watch this shit." I said, "Please go, save me." So I've been blunt like that for my own self. This I left because as an actor, as a nadigar, எனக்கு bore ஆயிடுச்சு. I said, எனக்கு bore ஆயிடுச்சு. If I'm feeling bored acting na, என் சினிமா பார்க்குற ஃபேன்ஸ்க்கு how will they feel? So I'm not being fair to my profession. I should move and give space to somebody better. Because I'm not doing 100% means I don't have the right to be there.
Right.
When I'm full 100%, I'll come back.
Right.
If I'm not, I should not. So I'm that kind of person. I take accountability for myself in whichever place I am. Like got into corporate. I said I've never done corporate. I've never done telephone sales.
This is again New Zealand.
New Zealand. So I went and started from scratch as a call center sales agent. Then jumped. Now I've become an analyst out there. So I've risen the rank because I always try to do better. So I don't stop. My learning never stops.
Right. No, this is turning out to be a fantastically positive conversation. So before I continue, I want to thank you for sharing that Pooveli incident because avlo pera star anaprom you're kind of acting kind of like a secondary role and you are mentally aware that நம்ம சுத்தி இருக்கிறவங்க எல்லாரும் நம்மள ஒரு பாத்தியா எங்க இருந்தவன் இப்படி எங்க ஆயிட்டான் அந்த மாதிரி தான் ஒரு லுக் கொடுறாங்க. And that was actually the toughest thing for you to handle. But once you handle that, everything was kind of sorted.
So that is why, to answer your question for Harpik, I never said, for me, I said, never forget where you started from.
Right.
So, like I remember I started on a TVS 50 and I was called in Bangalore 0.5 because I didn't have money to put so anybody wanted to drop, I'll say 0.5 podapa. So they named me 0.5. And so I never forget. And that has been good with me because எப்பவுமே எனக்கு திமிர் அதிகமாயிடுச்சு or ego ஆயிடுச்சு or attitude. I used to go back to Bangalore to my classmates. அவருக்கு தெரியும் Abbas, what Abbas was before he became an actor. They'll put me back into place. And I used to always get my grounding back there. And then my wife, who also gave me that stability.
No, at that period you were even offered films like Jeans and Kadalukku Mariyadai.
I was not a gunk. I did say yes to those, but sadly I did not know the norms of how the industry worked, and each one had their own little prejudice and comfort zones with XYZ. So that's the past. I mean, there's no point regretting about it, but never know in future they might come back with something more better to work. So I always think of the positive. What's happened has happened. It's each decision I've made or I missed out on was an opportunity which helped somebody else. So I'm happy for that.
Right. So you said yes to these films?
I said yes to this. In fact, Shankar sir and me were speaking at Filmfare Awards at the party, and he said, Abbas, I want you to do this. I said, okay, sir, I will do. I'm going to Hyderabad. I'll tell my manager to speak and we'll get that sorted. But something happened at that time and I was not aware of it. And so I don't know what communication happened between that then manager and Shankar sir's team. And it didn't think. But me being me, I was invited for the Jeans inauguration or the Muhurat launch of the artist doing the film. I went for it.
Nice.
So I didn't have any ego or any ill will, and I went. And I've always believed in having unity, and for me, cinema is a big family. I've worked with almost every celebrity and senior artist, and I love having everybody together. For me, it's like I want to entertain the audiences with a multi-starrer.
Right.
Why it should be only one selfish? Let everybody come. Let's have fun.
ஆக்சுவலி நீங்க சொன்னப்பறம் ஞாபகம் வருது பிகாஸ் யூ ஹேவ் அ யூனிக் இது பிகாஸ் நீங்க ரஜினிகாந்தோட நடிச்சிருக்கீங்க, கமல்ஹாசனோட நடிச்சிருக்கீங்க, மம்முட்டியோட நடிச்சிருக்கீங்க,
Vijaykant sir கூட.
விஜயகாந்த். It's like
Everybody,
all
Sharat
the
Kumar, Napoleon,
like, you know,
everyone.
you just Sharat Kumar, you just pretty much done you've covered all the senior stars.
Lucky me.
So kind of a thing. So when you're like in New Zealand, அப்பப்போ தோணுமா லைக் நம்ம வந்து லைக் ஓகே யூ செட் யூ காட் போர்ட் அண்ட் யூ வென்ட் தேர் பட் கொஞ்சம் அப்பப்போ வருதா தட் இஸ் லைக் I'm okay maybe I did a hasty decision.
I didn't have that feeling, but எனக்கு I knew it took me 9 years to realize corporate world is not for me.
Okay, நீங்க எப்போ போனீங்க ஆக்சுவலி? 2014.
So I said corporate life na எனக்கு இல்ல. ஏன்னா corporate life la also I was doing cinema. I was working in a corporate, but I said டேய் இது உனக்கு கேரக்டர், நீ ஒரு கஸ்டமர் சர்வீஸ் ஏஜென்ட், நீ அப்படி தான் மைண்டில் போடணும். பிகாஸ் I'm used to jumping from character to character, from script. So I kept that role play going on in my life.
Yeah.
You know, to keep myself thing. அப்புறம் ஒரு ஸ்டேஜ் வந்ததுக்கப்புறம்
While talking to each person,
doing role play on the phone also. Or if there's a person in Asian descent or a person will speak to me, நான் அவர்கிட்ட ப்ராப்பர் இங்கிலீஷ் பேச மாட்டேன். அவரோட slang I'll try and mirror him.
So
so
you
he
were
can
actually
understand.
acting.
In the industry, what I've learned, those were transferable skills for which helped me get a job in the corporate world. And you know, எனக்கு stage fear கிடையாது. I can keep on talking. So that attitude and positivity, like, you know, got me there. And I had a wonderful manager also. He's a South Indian from Adyar. For all the places, I go to New Zealand working, and my manager Naveen, he's from Adyar, and he's recognized me, and I was talking to him. I had gone to the attitude. I said, what can you do as a manager for me? Is there a chance to grow and all? He's like looking at me like, I know this fellow as an actor, but he's like, you know, what is he like? So he gave me an opportunity, and that's what helped me grow in the
corporate world.
And now I feel I'm missing my creativity. So I don't want to come back just for the heck of it. If I come back, it should be 100% satisfying as an actor, creatively, and for my fans. I want to do justice. I want to do meaningful stuff which is respectful and which can be a positive impact to society or the people.
Right.
You know, the earlier Abbas was maybe materialistic. Certain times, pa எனக்கு ஒரு நல்ல வண்டி வேணும், ஒரு வீடு வேணும், இது வேணும். இப்போ I have a focus. I want to do stuff and help people.
Right.
So that is my thing, because that is giving me happiness.
Right.
And you know, and I'll get my creativity also answered.
Right. But you will still work out of
Yeah, I'll
keep
work
shuttling
up and down. Or
that's home now. That's
home, I don't know. For now, that may be home. Tomorrow, it might be Timbuktu. Where my heart, I listen to my heart.
Right.
I just believe and I try to be as authentic to myself. So if I'm listening to my heart, then my conscience, it takes me in the right direction. I go.
Right. Now, sometimes what happens is, நம்ம வந்து ஒரு ஃபீல்ல இருக்கிறப்போ நம்மளுக்கு parallel ஒரு இருந்தார்னா, sometimes we tend to compare ourselves with them, right? So I'm going to take the example of Madhavan. Because you worked in Shanti Shanti, that Kannada film together, that was not a hit. But then later you guys did Minnale together, and that just took both of you to a different level, because நீங்க ஆல்ரெடி காதலிசம் பண்ணிட்டு ஒரு லெவல் இருந்தீங்க. மின்னலுக்கு அப்புறம் அதை விட ஒரு மாதிரி திங் happened. But then he has அவரோட கரியர் வந்து அவர் ஒரு மாதிரி ஹேண்டில் பண்ணியிருக்காரு. That is, he kind of did what you did, which is like, I don't always have to be the hero. நான் வந்து I don't have to be superstar. I can do this urban comedy, I can do this, I can do that. அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு இப்போ I can do OTT, I can do something. He shaped a career which is very, I would say, a very clever way of shaping a career where your age doesn't matter. Because if you play the hero, then you're after a point, your கொஞ்சம் ஏஜ் வந்து இதுக்கு வந்து அவரை காலேஜ் போய் ஆக்ட் பண்ண முடியாது, அந்த மாதிரிலாம் ஒரு இது வரும். But he's shaped it very well. When you look at somebody like that, do you feel that maybe நம்மளும் கொஞ்சம் கரியரை கொஞ்சம் பெட்டரா ஹேண்டில் பண்ணிருக்கலாமா?
ஆமா, கண்டிப்பா. I was not focused on my career. I was வந்துட்டு இருக்கோம், ஓகே போலாம், இன்னும் ஜாலி. I was still young. அந்த சின்ன வயசுல கல்யாணம் கூட ஆயிடுச்சு. I am a kid and I've got another kid. Oh, okay. ஒரு ராக் ஷோக்கு போனோம், சரி குழந்தை கூட போகலாம். So that was my mentality, very laid back. And Maddie deserves where he is, because he is a very close friend also, but I am very brutal with him also. And he deserves it because he's given his 110% his career.
Yeah.
He has planned everything, or whether he's planned or not, but he's been dedicated to that.
Yeah.
I've seen it, because at a time we would go for a restaurant, and we are like thing, and there's somebody waiting there, and I used to get very, I didn't like anyone disturbing when I'm eating, because that's the only time one space kadikkum, and the சாப்பிடும்போது somebody will come and ask, sir, I would like, சாப்பிட முடிச்சிருக்கோம். But he would get up and go and oblige them. That is the difference. So he deserves where he is. And I respect that for him. You know, I didn't have that dedication at that time. Today I have. So I've woken up late. So next number of years later. But now I've woken up. So you never know.
Right. If you were to say, நான் பண்ண படங்கள்லே இதுதான் top 5 films, can you make a list?
I would say my first one would be Anandam.
That's right on top.
Right on top.
Any particular reason?
It was a beautiful combination of everything. Story, artist, the freedom of creativity with one another in living your characters was I think one of the best I've had. Especially with Mamuka, I was very apprehensive working with him because he's very strict, and he has a demeanor of, like, you know, being very strict, because in Kandakondan also I remember when I had to say certain poetic Bharatiya lines and I was muffing up on the road, and he was getting this thing. I said, oh, another colleague is feeling thing, I have to pull up my socks. But Anandam, I broke through that, and I reached out and connected with him, and he's like a small baby, and he's a sweetheart. I love him. You know, he's like a big brother I've never had, and I loved the whole film with late Murli Anna, who's always, you know, got your back. Devyani, Ramba, Srividya, late Srividya madam, the director Lingaswamy. It was fun, and it was a true, I mean, it was his life story which kind of connected.
Right.
So that is my best. Then comes I would say would be Minnale, and because it was a very realistic kind of film. அடுத்தது my first Malayalam film, which is with Manju Warrior, Kanneldi Pottandattam. Then I would also say would be Kadal Desam. Because Kadal Desam, the reason why I'm putting Kadal Desam, though production value, music, score, everything, as an actor, it was a fluke for me. I was just being myself, and public liked me. But in my lens, I will not rate that as a great acting, because I was just the first, and you know, so yeah. And then what 4 I've given you?
Yeah.
4, then I would say Pambalki Sambandham.
Right.
So Pambalki Sambandham, because I learned a lot from Kamal sir with the comedy timing. Like, I would give little gap, he would impromptu put this, that. So I said, okay, Arthanal, I'll prepare and come. So he taught me indirectly, as an artist, come prepared.
Right.
If you're slight slack, he'll take over. So small little lessons.
So going back to Kadal Desam, when you were, I mean, I have to ask this question because it's like the defining Abbas question, I guess. You know, because that song Musthafa, I was in the US at that time, so it's like I was away from this mania, and suddenly like somebody's like come back from India, and it's like playing the song, and I'm like, what is this song? He said, it's the biggest craze in Tamil Nadu, right? The biggest craze in Chennai right now. It's like everybody singing the song. When you were doing that song, did you have any idea இது வந்து இவ்வளோ பெரிய ஹிட் ஆக போகுதுன்ட்டு?
See, sometimes when you're doing a shooting also song, you don't have those very good speakers, so the impact varudhukku, the thump varudhukku, but it had a nice beat.
Right.
I remember exactly when I did that shot in the college on Marina Beach. There was this Presidency College. On the corridor, there was one shot where I'm doing the tuck, and I was wearing a green shirt and a black pant, I think. I have panita and something that. So that shot, there are 2 shots in the film which I said would be, for me, felt like this is going to be a hit. At least this portion will be a hit. And the part, I said, so that was one part, and that ding, 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 ding. So, you know, those 2 things kind of said like this will be big in colleges and universities.
Right. When was the last time you saw the song?
Last time I saw the song was maybe a few months back, because my friends keep coming over and they will play some movie of mine, they'll rip me out and make fun of me in that way. So
your kids have seen that song?
Kids have seen that song.
What do they say?
They say it's even till today. They say my son's friends in New Zealand have seen it, and they find it catchy for their generation. So, you know,
nice.
Hats off to Rahman sir for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, I mean, of course, a lot of your films have had good songs, but this somehow, because Minale, for example, had a brilliant soundtrack, but somehow Musthafa is the one,
Which,
you know, like kind of this one. So, yeah. Now, you've just said that you've become Abbas 2.0, or maybe now it's 3.0, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, when you enter the industry, நீங்க எந்த மாதிரி attitude வர போறீங்க? Are you going to say, again, going back to that point, you said, I was very bored about what I was doing, and I thought that if I'm not interested, then I should give somebody else the chance. இப்போ வந்து, like, how do you feel about, like, the whole industry?
I've always loved the industry, and I'm seeing some beautiful work coming in, and I miss my creativity.
You keep in touch with everything.
I'll keep watching. Sometimes I'm not like each and everything, I'm not glued into that, because I like to live life also. And so if any good films I hear from people, I'll go watch, I'll go see, and I'll see what's happening. I'll call up and speak to a few of my friends out here and just chat to them. But if I'm going to be doing anything right now, I'm hungry first of all. I've got a fire inside me to do good stuff, and I will be focused on choosing good scripts which should kind of get me excited and off my seat. Then I will go ahead.
Right.
I mean, I've had some offers while I've been there also, and recently before coming, I've had some 2 scripts, but that was just like someone trying to just make a little bit of milestone with my lapse from the industry, and you know, by dangling some money and saying, come, we'll give you so much. I'm like, shove off. You know, I said, for me, the first thing is a script.
Right. Which was not முன்னாடி அந்த மாதிரி பார்க்கல நீங்க.
முன்னாடி இருந்தோம். See, like Asai Thambi was a film. Why I did that? Because it is a remake of Parinda.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with Parinda? Parinda is a beautiful script.
Right.
But I had எனக்கு ரொம்ப poor knowledge in terms of the director, who will handle this kind of a script, our screenplay, the casting. That was not in my control. So that's what I'm saying. I chose certain films, but sadly it was not the best of combinations or whatever at that time.
Right.
And it didn't work. So okay, fine.
Right.
That was my decision.
Right.
But I chose it because I believed in the script.
Right. Thank you so much, because this has been so positive and like really inspiring, and like actually இப்போ நிறைய பேர் வந்து mental health பத்தி பேசுறாங்க, but நீங்க when you had suicidal thoughts, or maybe even when you were talking about to all these other people, அப்போ அவ்வளோ பேர் அதை பற்றிலாம் பேசலை, because they were kind of, so you've probably been a very positive influence on all these people. Do you still keep in touch with them?
At that time I was regularly doing, but then I went through also a little bit of a downhill with my operation and my accident on the motorcycle. So I've not been off that lately, but I was able to help 2 people not commit suicide in this lockdown, and that was something more powerful to me and purposeful. Like I could save 2 people's life by sitting somewhere, just talking to them on Zoom, and got someone to connect ground force out here to go and reach out to them and see. And I was like, I gave them my number. I said, reach out to me if you just want to talk. I'm here to listen. And I don't do that. I don't give my number away. I just gave it because I felt that I need to. And and that person is alive today, and she's like, she calls me Anna, and so that's, I mean, I feel blessed that I could save a human life.
That's a bigger achievement than all your films put together.
Absolutely.
That's like
it's because of cinema I've been able to do that also. So right. It's a both interconnected thing, and yeah. So I don't want to stop doing those things.
But thank you so much, Abbas. It's been such a pleasure. And well, to everyone who's listening, he's ready for a comeback. So, you want to say anything about that? I mean, what do you want to do?
I like to just let it flow. I mean, there's no point saying and stopping. And I mean, let it be. There'll be somebody who's interested in working with me, because I haven't been, my potential hasn't been really tapped out. So there's somebody who will come up with something, and I'm always ready to work and enjoy working. Because that's once an actor, always an actor. You never, you go away for a sabbatical, and I've come back, learned certain other life lessons.
Right.
And so much more to give. I just want to give. That's me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
பல்லாவரம் ஃபோக்கஸ் மென்ஸ்வேர் இப்போது மேடவாக்கத்திலும் ஓப்பனிங் ஆஃபர் டி-ஷர்ட் வெறும் 19, ஷர்ட்ஸ் 79 மற்றும் அனைத்து ஆடைகளும் 799 கிடைக்கும்.